This is Pod Populi.
Podcast for the people.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to 72 Sold Arizona Lifestyle Podcast. And today I'm your host, Holly Waxman, local realtor with 72 Sold. So proud to be part of the group. And I'm excited to be able to have with us a special guest, founder, Mr. Greg Hague. Thank you so much for being here today, Greg.
Hey, Holly, it's my pleasure. How are you today?
I'm great. And also I have another favorite listing partner of mine, my favorite daughter, Britney Waxman.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks. Glad you could be here, Britney.
Yes, me too.
This is a really exciting episode today because we're going to hear some of the truths and trends and what's really happening with the market. There's so many changes right now. And we've put together a 3-segment session today. The first segment we're going to talk about is understanding the current market in real estate with the new commissions. And Greg, in the real estate market today, there's been a lot of volatility. And what's your current assessment of what's happening with the commissions and such?
I would presume, Holly, that everybody in the industry is aware of the backdrop, the Sitzer-Burnett lawsuit, the NAR settlement. And, just as a brief overview, I know we'll be talking about this. I think it's pretty clear. A few things are crystal clear now to everybody. Number one is that buyer agents should have written representation agreements with buyers who they're working with before they show them homes. That's a good thing. Nothing wrong with that. It really just clarifies, here's what I expect to be paid. Here's what I believe I deserve to be paid. And here's what I'm going to do for it. And we're going to put it in writing so there's no ambiguity, no lack of clarity. So, that's a good thing. If buyer agents still want to be paid by sellers as opposed to having their buyer have to write a check, then that's easy enough because there's no prohibition on including the buyer, including in their offer, whatever they might like the seller to pay their buyer agent as part of a seller concession. So that's, no problem at all. There's been nobody who would frown on that practice. A third observation is that I think everybody would have to agree that buyer agents who are influenced to show buyers homes based on how much a seller is offering them as opposed to what best fits the buyer is not a good practice. And consequently, no longer are offers of compensation being made in MLS. That was effective here in Arizona on August 1st and around the country by August 17th. And then the last observation is that there are a lot of agents who are, let's say, doing workarounds, basically saying that because the NAR settlement agreement did not prohibit offers of buyer agent compensation outside MLS, that's totally okay to do that. And as I've discussed on a number of our national training calls, we have 3 a week at 72 Sold. Those agents are mistaken, and any brokerage leaders who would encourage that are mistaken, because the bottom line is the spirit of the settlement is to keep buyer agents from being influenced to show homes based on the amount that's being offered by the seller or the listing agent. And the spirit of the settlement was also to prevent sellers from feeling like they should be pressured into offering some expected amount to buyer agents in order to get their home sold. And that there are numerous articles out there now echoing what I've been saying for months, and that is that there are attorneys and watchdog groups in the Department of Justice that are watching how we behave outside the context of MLS and saying unequivocally that any form of offer of buyer agent compensation is violating the spirit of the settlement. And quite frankly, the Department of Justice believes that that actually violates the law because it's a conspiracy to inflate commissions. Now, you can agree with that or not agree with it. It doesn't really matter. That's what the Department of Justice thinks. So that's kind of a quick, I don't know, maybe not that quick. That's kind of a summary of my view of these practice changes. And they're going to require clearly that we as an industry start looking at things a bit differently. In my view, it creates real opportunity. With change, either comes danger or opportunity. For when change is inevitable, and believe me, this change is inevitable.
Right.
When change is inevitable, those who keep their heads in the sand and ignore it, even worse, those who resist it, those will be the ones who are left behind. And those who don't just embrace it, but actually look for ways to leverage it to build a bigger, better business and earn more by doing it, those will be the winners. So that's the way I see it, Holly.
I agree. And I always say I always quit quitting. So the people that quit are going to end up being the losers, and the ones that are so lucky to be part of your program and being on your training calls and learning great strategies to be one of the winners is a great asset. And even today, Brittany and I were at a listing appointment, and we were going against another agent who is not part of the program and part of 72 sold agent. And he was really upset because when we do contracts right nowadays, we're not putting sellers' commissions in our contracts. We are asking for the agents. We tell our agents that our sellers are aware of the commission and the compensation, and we have them put it in their offer. We find that as an advantage to the sellers, like you're saying, as well as to the buyer's agents, because they get paid. They have the opportunity to get paid as they feel that they deserve, and the sellers get to see their net. And he ended up choosing us over the other agents because he liked that we did that, where the other agent was giving them a big, long contract. We only give a one-page agreement, and he felt more comfortable.
Yeah, and I would see that being the case, that a seller, when you now only really need to discuss with the seller what you charge, what you on the list side charge. Here's what I charge, here's what I deliver for that. Typically that might be, obviously up to all of you to charge whatever you charge, but typically that might be something like half of what the commission used to be, when the other half was what was paid to a buyer agent. Right. So how would that not resonate with the seller? And then basically also just let them know that it's possible that a buyer may include in their offer for you to pay their buyer agent. But if they do, just analyze it in terms of what's your net and see if it works for you. Easy peasy, right?
Right. It works out great. And also being part of the program with 72 Sold, in my opinion, as an agent and working with different sellers, it's the collaboration that Greg allows for us, and the leadership, as well as the learning constantly. Even though I've been an agent for over 20 years, the constant feedback from the other agents, as well as Greg's amazing leadership, is just such an asset to the community, to the agents. And thank you, Greg, for allowing me to be part of the program.
Yeah, well, thank you, Holly. It's obviously an honor to have you. And as I was mentioning to you before the broadcast, I was proud that in our webinar yesterday, you were featured up there on the leaderboard among our top 5 agents in Arizona. So congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. I love doing it. Every day I wake up and I'm just excited to which outfit I'm going to wear and which clients I'm going to go see. So it's fun. The next part of the segment that we're going to talk about, which we started talking about, is a 72 sold home selling program. Your home selling program has gained a lot of attention to a lot of people. Personally, I'm really feel lucky that I've been able to be part of the group that's working with it. But we've had to adapt to a lot of changes in the market. What advantages do you think that the program has to do with sellers?
Yeah, well, in a nutshell, for those of you watching who are not familiar with our program, my belief, and this has been true for a long time, is that we all strive, I would hope that we all strive to be better. And I've grown up in this industry. I used to work for my dad selling real estate, and I've observed that real estate agents, not everybody, but for the most part, real estate agents are some of the hardest working, most entrepreneurial people in the world. And so you can look at always striving to be better. I look at it though, and this was an epiphany I had, Holly, 30, 40 years ago. You can be better, you can try to be better doing things the same way, or you can say to yourself, maybe there's a different way to do things that would take the same amount of work that I would put in doing it the normal way, and that work would pay off bigger for my client if I did it a different way. And like with a seller, get them a higher sale price, which that's what they want. And so I've been fascinated for a long time with what I call different better, looking at the traditional way that homes are sold and saying to myself, what are the things we can do in the way we put photos, we do photos, the way we write ad copy, the way we communicate with buyer agents, the way we position homes to make buyers feel like VIPs, the way we show homes. We have a 7-step showing process, as you know, that buyers love, and that images homes as being more unique and more desirable, creates a better value perception. So in a nutshell, the 72 sold program is the product of a lifetime, and we continue to develop it. My lifetime, professional lifetime, and many very smart people around me over the years who have contributed to it. It's just taking the traditional process and making it better. You might think about it in its most simplistic view as we're not trying to be better taxi drivers. We want to be Uber. And
Right.
Uber didn't try to do the taxi business better. Uber just reinvented the taxi business. The goal was the same, to get people from A to B. The goal is the same, get people from A to B. Our goal is the same, sell people's homes at the highest price. Goal is the same. Uber just changed so many things in terms of the way you got from A to B, and that really works. So the same amount of effort in an Uberized model generated so much more value and such a better result that Uber skyrocketed in growth. So that's pretty much a summary of what 72 Sold's foundational philosophy is. We focus just on the home selling side. Nothing wrong with home buyers. That's just not what we do. We are focused very specifically to serving home sellers. That's what the program's about, both locally and nationally. And as you know, really proud, just last week I announced that 72 Sold was on the list of again, for the third year in a row, of the Inc. 5000 fastest growing companies in America. And we were number 211 out of all the companies in the country. That's pretty cool. We were number 8 fastest growing company in Arizona, of all companies in Arizona in every industry. We were number 1 fastest growing real estate firm in Arizona, the number 1 fastest growing real estate firm in the Western US, and the number 2 fastest growing real estate firm in the entire nation. So in a tough year, 2023 was a softer year. I think that, Holly, is a testament to the way we look at things in terms of not trying to be better, but rather trying to be different, better. Does that make sense?
I totally agree. And the best part about it is I'm a real hands-on learner. Like, even though I have a great education, I feel I've learned a lot just by doing and having the experience and the opportunities. And for myself, even being able to help and coach, I feel myself as I'm getting older, a coach with my kids and with my clients, that we were able to show them how we're able to get higher. And so many times we even get higher than the asking prices. And it's exciting. It's exciting to see so many homeowners, one of their biggest assets, to gain more wealth from it and just have a great experience and terrific results. So thank you so much, Greg, for teaching this and being so inspirational and a great leader.
Yeah, well, thank you. And it's interesting. The results is, and I'll just throw it out there that you're with Cydia, and that's local approved, Phoenix approved brokerage for 72 sold. And the I know you saw the stats, the July brokerage comparison reports that Sarah Perkins did, and you know you and your peers there at Cydia, again, the local 72 sold approved brokerage, the average MLS time for selling homes in July was 46 days. Cydia's average time was 20 days. I mean, think about that. That's huge. You're
right.
selling homes in less than half the time, but it gets even better. Also, the Cydia median sale price was, I forget, it was something like $15,000. You were on average getting sellers about $14,000 to $18,000 more. And then the other really interesting statistic, so you were selling homes in half the time for something between $10,000 and $20,000 more on average. And then the last thing is that in MLS, I believe, and I'm doing it from memory, the average sale price to original list price was about, I think it was a $14,000 differential, the MLS differential. So original list price versus sale price, about the final sale price was 14,000 less than original list price. The Cydia, again, our 72 sold local approved brokerage, the Cydia differential was only $500. So Cydia is selling homes, you guys using the 72 sold program, selling homes for much closer to the seller's original asking price at a significantly higher price on average, and doing it in less than half the time. That to me is a testament to the combination of truly fantastic agents who are using a truly fantastic program. And you put those two together, and it takes both, and look at the result that was being achieved for sellers. And and also then in the other report that Sarah provided, you guys are selling roughly 8 times more homes per agent per month than the MLS average. 8 times. And the next best company with an agent ratio, you were selling over, it was like 3 times as many homes per agent as the next best company, and 8 times is the MLS average, and something like 10 to 12 times more homes than some of the brokerages here with mega large numbers of agents. So that again, those are real numbers right out of MLS that should show quantitatively that the combination of great people like you, Holly, and Brittany, your daughter, and the other agents in the 72 sold program here in Phoenix, with a great program that we constantly work to make better, this unbelievable result that can produce, both as a benefit to home sellers as well as prosperity for all of you. So I'm very proud of that, Holly.
I am too, and I feel so lucky to be part of the team and the group. And for me, a lot of it is, a lot of agents out there, they can tell you they can do this, they can do that. It's wonderful that we're able to document this and verify this, that we are doing this. And we have lots of testimonials that also from clients that had great results that are seeing this as well. So, well, thank you so much, Greg. And thank you all of our listeners for being here today. Hope you got some great information. Thanks again, Greg, for allowing me to be part of the group and the program, and all of the sellers and people out there that are listening. Thanks again. And until next time, bye for now.